Anne Hathaway stars in the 2018 film Ocean's 8, a female reboot of the Ocean's 11 films, with George Clooney, Brad Pitt and Matt Damon. The new version includes an all-star cast featuring Sandra Bullock, Cate Blanchett, Sarah Paulson, Mindy Kaling and Rihanna. Stardom came quickly for Hathaway when she first began her career. After one season on an unsuccessful sitcom, Hathaway found herself cast as the star of Garry Marshall's film, The Princess Diaries. It was kind of a case of art imitating life, since in the film a young high school girl finds out she is really a princess and is launched into the public eye. The same thing pretty much happened to Hathaway. The acting bug though wasn't in her system, since after all she was named after the wife of William Shakespeare and her mother was a former actress who gave up her career to raise a family. In one great coincidence, her mom's last role before motherhood was in a national touring company of Les Miserab. In that production she was an understudy for the role of Fantine, the doomed factory worker turned prostitute who sings the show's big song, I Dreamed a Dream. Coincidentally, many years later Hathaway would be cast in that role for the film version of the musical and go on to win an Academy Award for it as Best Supporting Actress. Hathaway has had a remarkably diverse career for someone her age. She has pretty much worked in all genres, from comedy to serious drama to musicals to science fiction, with even a stop along the way as Catwoman in a Batman movie. Let's take a look at the Oscar winner's career in the photo gallery above, which offers her 15 greatest film performances, ranked from worst to best. Our list includes the movies mentioned above, plus Rachel Getting Married, The Devil Wears Prada, and Brokeback Mountain. 15. Get Smart. 2008, Get Smart was an extremely popular television series from the 1960s starring Don Adams as the inept secret agent Maxwell Smart and Barbara F. Eldon as his intelligent sidekick Agent 99. Hathaway teamed with Steve Carell to recreate the characters, which were initially created by Mel Brooks and Buck Henry. 4 HAVOC, 2005, Hathaway began to try to transition to more adult and darker roles, with this film only meeting with mixed results. The film struggled to find an audience and received mixed reviews, but Hathaway was able to start getting less teen-oriented roles after this. The film tells the story of two privileged Los Angeles women who get involved in the hip-hop scene, which only leads them to involvement in the darker side of Los Angeles, including the drug scene. 13. Ella Enchanted, 2004, appealing to the same demographic audience that first made Hathaway a star with The Princess Diaries. This fantasy film is a charming tale and Hathaway is quite radiant in it. Based on a popular novel, it tells the tale of Ella, a young girl who is given a gift of obedience, meaning she must do whatever she is told by others. 12. Alice in Wonderland, 2010, in visionary director Tim Burton's take on the classic story, Hathaway plays the White Queen while Helena Bonham Carter plays the villainous Red Queen. 11 Nickleby, 2002, as with most of the stories of Charles Dickens, this story has been adapted many times on both stage and screen. This version was particularly well done, with joyous moments mixed in with the sadness as the title character tries to fend off a greedy uncle and protect his mother, sister and his crippled friend Smike. Hathaway plays the love interest of Nickleby, a young artist who has to support her oppressive father who has gambled away all their money. 10. The Intern, 2015. On paper the synopsis of this film seemed a bit hokey. A 70-year-old man becomes an intern for an online fashion entrepreneur, but somehow the combination of Robert De Niro, Hathaway and writer-director Nancy Meyers pulled it off. Hathaway is strong and confident and quite touching in her relationship with De Niro. 9. COLOSSAL, 2016. This bizarre fantasy film features Hathaway as a messed-up alcoholic struggling writer forced to move back home. Somehow Hathaway's character finds out that a huge monster that is terrorizing South Korea is mimicking her movements. The film didn't perform particularly well at the box office, but she got some strong reviews for her risky and adventurous performance. ATHE Princess Diaries 2001. Rarely does an actress get a star-making role their first time up at bat, but that is exactly what happened to the 19-year-old. Hathaway plays a cocky and awkward San Francisco high school student who, upon meeting her grandmother for the first time, finds out she is actually a princess. With the help of Julie Andrews at her classiest, Hathaway is transformed into a proper heir to a throne. 7 Interstellar 2014. This complicated science fiction film features Hathaway as part of an excellent ensemble. She plays a scientist who travels through a wormhole in space in order to assure humanity's survival. While the actors are often dwarfed in this film by the story and special effects, Hathaway is completely believable as the intellectual and daring doctor she plays. 6 Dark Knight Rises 2012. Hathaway joined the ever-growing list of women who got to play Catwoman in the many Batman incarnations over the years. Her take on the role isn't as flamboyant as others, but she brings a gravitas to the alter ego Selina and ultimately makes a very desirable love interest for Bruce Wayne, Batman. 5 Love and Other Drugs 2010. This film received a bit of a backlash upon its release, with critics decrying the cutesy magazine covers and sexy poses Hathaway and Jake Gyllenhaal participated in to promote the film. Once you get past that, you'll find one of Hathaway's more interesting performances as a woman suffering from early-onset Parkinson's disease. She fears becoming involved with men because she feels she will become a burden on them. 4 Brokeback Mountain 2005. This film tells the story of two cowboys who maintain an extramarital affair over many years. Hathaway has a small but complicated role as Gyllenhaal's wife. Her emotionally detached phone call at the end of the film when she informs Heath Ledger's character of Gyllenhaal's death remains one of the most analyzed moments in film. 3 The Devil Wears Prada 2006. One of Hathaway's great triumphs as her performance is the put-upon employee of a fashion magazine who is terrorized at every turn by her imperious boss. Meryl Streep got to chew the scenery and create one of her most memorable characters as Miranda Priestley, but she couldn't have done it without Hathaway's sturdy support. Hathaway plays a young woman who wants to be a writer and reporter and stumbles into the world of high fashion, an area that doesn't really interest her. 2 Rachel Getting Married 2008. Hathaway received her first Oscar nomination for a performance as a younger sister fresh out of rehab attending her sister's wedding. The sisters each have great resentment towards each other, and things come to a head as the ceremony approaches. This was a brave performance from Hathaway in that she took on a character who is rather unlikable at times. Her character is a drug addict who has caused severe harm to her family. 1 Les Miserab 2012. Hathaway won every award imaginable for her work as the doomed factory worker turned prostitute Fantine in this film adaptation of the beloved stage musical. Hathaway creates a great arc for her character, going from desperate mother trying to feed her child to blousy street hooker completely lost in despair to lovely spectral remembrance at the end of the film.